On February 12th, Sony held its February 2025 State of Play, offering fans a 46-minute glimpse into the future of PlayStation games. The event featured exciting new reveals, including fresh trailers and gameplay footage for upcoming titles. However, there were mixed reactions, with many gamers feeling let down by the lack of major reveals like Bloodborne or Resident Evil updates, and instead, Sony delivered things like a Days Gone Remaster that no one really asked for. While some games sparked interest, the overall event left a sense of mediocrity. Let's dive into all the details and see what stood out. Before we get started, if you're passionate about gaming, anime, movies, and everything nerdy, make sure to subscribe to Waz Up Nerd Insider and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. The event kicked off with a bang thanks to Monster Hunter Wilds, a new entry in the beloved series. This action-packed game is set to launch on February 28, 2025, and the trailer featured a fresh new monster, Mutsi, which will be added post-launch. The developers also revealed a roadmap for the game, with free content coming after the release, making it an exciting prospect for fans of the franchise. This will be a first-time experience for many, including us, as we've never played Monster Hunter World. Next up, Shinobi Art of the Vengeance from Sega stole the spotlight with its stunning art direction and ninja samurai combat. The game is a side-scrolling fighter that blends smooth combat mechanics with gorgeous visual design. While the trailer didn't reveal a specific release date, it's clear that this title aims to offer a unique take on the genre, one that's visually striking and action-packed. Sega continued to shine with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, a racing game that takes a page out of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart's book. The game features a unique twist where the Sonic universe's rings serve as portals to different tracks mid-race. The potential for user-generated mods is massive if Sega opens up customization, making this a title to keep an eye on, especially if you're into racing games. There's no specific release date yet, but the gameplay looks promising. An unexpected but highly anticipated title for Digimon fans, Digimon Storytime Stranger was announced as a new story-driven game set in the beloved universe. With open-world exploration and combat mechanics, this game is shaping up to be a treat for Digimon enthusiasts, though the release date is still TBD. It looks like a must-play for fans of the franchise who've been craving new adventures. Next, Lost Soul Aside was featured, set for release on May 30th, 2025. This visually stunning Chinese-developed title is heavily inspired by Final Fantasy, blending fast-paced combat with magical abilities and world traversal mechanics. With its breathtaking visuals and intense action sequences, Lost Soul Aside looks to be a standout title for 2025, and it's definitely one we're excited to dive into. A demo for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza Hawaii was also announced, promising to bring new gameplay experiences to PlayStation players soon. The announcement didn't include a specific release date, but fans of the Yakuza series will be excited to see what new additions this game brings to the table, especially with its focus on pirate-themed adventures. Fans of wrestling were treated to a new trailer for WWE 2K25, which introduced a new online hub called The Island. It allows players to create and customize characters, explore shops, and interact with NPCs. While this type of hub is becoming a staple in modern games, the feature does feel somewhat unnecessary and geared towards monetization. No release date was shared, but the game is expected to land later this year. Next up was Borderlands 4, presented by Gearbox's Randy Pitchford, with a release date set for September 23, 2025. This new installment promises to continue the franchise's trademark blend of chaotic action, humor, and loot shooter mechanics. We'll also get more details in an upcoming State of Play, focused on the game's combat, exploration, and story. The timing suggests GTA 6 may be coming either before or after Borderlands 4, so fans can mark their calendars accordingly. A narrative trailer for Directive 8020 was shown, a sci-fi horror game set on a massive space station under attack by a mysterious corrupting force. It's a choice-based narrative game with an eerie atmosphere and lots of tension. Scheduled for release on October 2nd, 2025, Directive 8020 has some serious potential for fans of psychological horror and sci-fi. The latest entry in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, Secret of the Mimic, was announced for release on June 13, 2025. The game will retain the first-person semi-open map style of its predecessor, promising plenty of jump scares and tense moments for longtime fans of the franchise. Set to launch on May 8, 2025, The Midnight Walk is a bizarre horror game with a unique claymation art style reminiscent of Tim Burton's films. While the artistic direction is one of a kind, it might not appeal to everyone, especially those who aren't fans of the eccentric style. Still, it's an interesting experiment, especially for those into niche horror experiences. One of the more surprising reveals was Darwin's Paradox, a quirky puzzle platformer where you control an octopus attempting to survive in a factory. The game features a side-scroller vibe and requires players to blend in with the environment to progress. Although only shown for about 30 seconds, this game caught our attention with its unique premise and humor. No release date has been set yet, but it looks like a title that could stand out if it's polished enough. Omega Force introduced Warriors AB, another entry in the Warriors universe. This one has a roguelite feel and a fixed camera, somewhat resembling a mini Diablo. If you're into Dynasty Warriors, you might enjoy the new content here, but it felt a little limited and average in comparison. No release date was provided, but it's something fans of the genre might find enjoyable. The classic Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, was announced for a remaster, set to release on May 23, 2025. While the game hasn't received any significant changes, it's now playable on next-gen consoles, offering a bit of nostalgia for those who enjoyed the original PlayStation 2 game. However, many fans would have preferred a full remake rather than a remaster. On the horizon for 2026, Onimusha Way of the Sword is shaping up to be an exciting action RPG. Featuring Miyamoto Musashi, one of Japan's legendary samurai, the game offers visceral combat, stunning graphics, and a combat system that's reminiscent of Phantom Blade Zero, but slower and more deliberate. It looks like it will be a brutal and beautiful experience that fans of samurai lore will appreciate. With a release date of September 4th, 2025, Hell Is Us brings a visual style similar to Death Stranding. Set in a desolate world, the game offers exploration and survival gameplay with deep narrative elements. This one looks promising and could end up being a hit when it drops. One of the biggest announcements was the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake, which is coming on August 28, 2025. Fans of the original will be thrilled to see this beloved game reimagined with next-gen visuals and updated mechanics. This is one of the most exciting remakes in recent years and promises to bring a new level of intensity to MGS3's survival gameplay. The Lies of P. Overture DLC, set in a snowy winter landscape, will introduce new enemies and areas to explore. Lies of P has been a visual treat, and this DLC promises to add even more depth to the game. No exact release date for the DLC was shared, but it's expected to drop soon. The long-rumored Days Gone Remaster is finally a reality, scheduled for release on April 25, 2025. While some fans were excited to see the game make a return to PlayStation 5, many were frustrated that Bloodborne, a much more requested remaster, has yet to be addressed. It's hard not to feel like Sony is ignoring the wishes of their loyal community with this announcement. Stellar Blade also received an announcement for a new DLC, and the exciting news that the game will be coming to PC in June 2025. The DLC promises to add fresh content, and with its arrival on PC, the modding community is sure to take the game to new heights. Scheduled for 2025, Blueprints is a puzzle game about creating connections within the environment. It looks to be an interesting concept that could attract fans of the genre, but much more information is needed to gauge its potential. Abiotic Factor is set for release in summer 2025 on consoles. This game is expected to deliver a unique experience, though it's still too early to say much about the gameplay or story. Tides of Annihilation stood out as one of the most talked-about games of the event. Set in a post-apocalyptic London, the game features a female protagonist wielding a sword and promises a mix of cinematic visuals and intense gameplay. With no exact release date yet, it's one of the most visually stunning titles to look forward to. If you're a fan of Doom, Metal Eden might be right up your alley. This chaotic first-person shooter offers parkour mechanics, blood-soaked action, and futuristic combat. The trailer looked exhilarating, and while the game doesn't yet have a release date, it's bound to be a fast-paced experience. The most unexpected reveal of the event was Mind's Eye, a third-person shooter set in an open world with military espionage at its core. Developed by Leslie Benzies, the director of GTA, the game promises an expansive world with stunning graphics and vehicle control mechanics. While the game doesn't yet have a release date, it's definitely one to watch for anyone looking for a massive new title from a familiar face. While the February 2025 State of Play showcased some exciting new titles, it did leave many fans hoping for more substantial announcements, especially regarding games like Bloodborne. There's still much to be excited about, especially for those who love Monster Hunter, Onimusha, and Five Nights at Freddy's, among others. However, the overall event left some mixed feelings about the direction of Sony's game lineup. If you want to stay updated on all the latest gaming news, subscribe to What's Up Nerd Insider and join the conversation in the comments below.